wasn't until I got out the trap, out the streets, and when I got a job, I noticed that women do treat a working man totally different than a guy that's just living how whatever. It was like, and then I seen it. I seen guys complaining about their women, and it wasn't just a black thing. It was men in general.
Got it.
But being around, I never been around white girls and none of that shit. So when I get around, when I go hang out with bro, when I see how them girls are moving and the whole environment, even not just white girls, black, white, put it like this, non-black girls.
Video on the ride. I seen a brother, and I might throw a couple other videos in there, and he said he was a street dude, and he noticed the difference how women treated him when he transitioned from the street into being a working guy. And he also talked about in the video, I'm sure I remember to make it the first clip, that he said that he noticed when he became a working guy how black women treated him, and then how non-black women treated him a little bit differently. And for the most part, I never really understood, why, a lot of, black women didn't really respect the working men. I've my neighborhood, I see a lot of hardworking Mexican men. I don't know what they do. Some of them work on the lawn truck. Some of them are, pitch in and they go to work in the same car. And they women, seem to respect what they do. They have their families, they level up, and they get out of there. And I see that with the other ethnic groups of men. But I don't really understand, why black women don't respect blue collar or white collar hardworking dude. And, you hear a lot of brothers say a lot of the women don't want to build, and they don't. They don't. And statistically, if women looked at statistics, I think that would help them a lot. Statistically, most men don't start to kind of even hit their financial peak or start to really go up into their mid 30s. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And, I had another homie, he got a YouTube channel, and he was telling me that, a girl had came back to him and he had changed his life from the streets, and said she didn't want to mess with him no more because he wasn't in the streets no more. So, no, I don't want to mess with you. You ain't in the streets no more. So I don't understand, why. And then, let me say this first and foremost. When we start talking about the hardworking brothers out there, we get all the blame and we get all the backlash. We supposed to get the burden down the line of all the street niggas or niggas or men that didn't take the right path. And we all learn at different places. And we're supposed to just take the leftovers and take the burden. Do y'all understand? When y'all start talking about these deadbeat fathers and over half of the black male population don't have a child, when y'all start talking about, deadbeat fathers or you got to make six figures or you got to be a scammer and a drug dealer, do y'all understand every time y'all women say shit like that on the internet or, guys experience that in the street, y'all dealing with convicted felons and women saying the pookies and the convicted felons, y'all understand y'all opening up black men's minds or some black and these males' minds to explore other women. The average black man don't want to be with another race of woman. Nobody wants to go through the awkwardness of traditions. You know what I'm saying? Of mixing traditions and mixing all that being different. The men don't want to go through that. We rather not go through that. We'd rather be with that. But a lot of these dudes, they give black women a long try into their 30s, some into their 40s. And you see a lot of these dudes, that's outside of the athletic community or the sports community and music entertainment community. They go out there and get with the other later in life. And they take that chance. So y'all got to take responsibility. It ain't that he hate his mother, and that could be the case. It ain't that he hate black women. It ain't that he hate his own skin color. It's what's being dealt up with. And y'all know how y'all feel about hardworking dudes. Y'all know y'all have dealt with bums, drug dealers, scammers, killers, crackheads, all that type of stuff. And, and then it's like, what I'm saying? Y'all want to make it seem like the black men in the community is crazy. We went through it before the internet. We were seeing it. A lot of our sisters and mothers and nieces and cousins, and they all was picking those type of dudes. But then when y'all fail with those type of dudes, it's still the double whammy is it's still regular black hard men's working for. And a lot of these men for years played cleanup men and took y'all and took the burdens that y'all created and got nothing from it but divorce, got nothing from it but early grave. So let's get to the bottom of it. Why don't the black women of America respect a hard working man? But then at the end of the day, when he built himself up to get his life together, y'all expect to be at the finish line waiting for him. Y'all know right from wrong. Trust and believe me, I overheard plenty women make mistakes. Knowingly make the mistakes of dealing with the wrong type of dudes, and they do it on purpose. But then they deflect and make it seem like it's all they know. The men fault. They know exactly what they doing. What is this illness where y'all don't want to grind? If it's boredom or it's not exciting, just be honest with it. But that's one of the main things that tore the black community up. And now that men have woken up to it, they're not playing that no more. They're not playing it no more. And it's sad because they will sit here and cry and talk about how they left a good man and he was a good man. You made a villain. Didn't care about the kids, didn't care about your offspring. And it's crazy, man. Real talk, it's real crazy, to be honest with you. It's real crazy. A lot of these dudes a lot of these women, they don't respect you doing respectable work. And you gotta be like, okay, what's the illness? What's the illness? That you want to scam or a drug. And I'm telling you, like 90% of black women, of all ages that's eligible to be old enough, they've all dealt with some type of dealer, thief, crackhead, pookie, convict, ex-convict. I'm telling you, bro, I've seen it my whole life. But just being a hard-working man don't get enough respect. It's sad. Real sad, but, it is what it is. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. I appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.
Because a lot of black women don't date men for themselves. They date men for the illusion that they can portray to their friends. That black man that's out there selling drugs and got them bottles in them sections, I can get on the phone the next day and, girl, we was out at the club. You can't do that with a hard working man that's working 12, 13 hours a day. Because what is you going to tell him? Girl, my man went to work today and he came home and then we went to sleep. There's no story. What are you going to tell him? You can't be on Instagram posting pictures of y'all in Mykonos rolling around on the beach and stuff like that. You can't do that with that 9 to 5 man. You can't. And if that's like I said, it's relationship goals. If this is the life you want, if your life is living to make everybody around with you jealous, I'm gonna make them gag and all that dumb shit I be hearing on TikTok. If that's what your life is, you can't do that with no 9 to 5 dude. I'm sorry, there's just no way. Because the 9 to 5 dude, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna bring you flowers from the grocery store on his way home, and that's not gonna make nobody gag because that's what your mind is. That 9 to 5 man, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna take you to the movies once a week and to a nice dinner, or he's gonna cook you dinner, or he's gonna rub your feet, or he's gonna rub your back. He's gonna make you feel good because you're his woman. But how does that make your other friends jealous? Girl, he rubbed your feet, but my man took me to the Philippines and they put fish in the water and the fish ate dirt off my feet. You need to get you a man because that's what they hear. Because you stupid, because you live in your life and you trying to date to make your girlfriends jealous, and then this is the crazy part, Noble. Then when your girlfriends get jealous and then they try to steal your man, you want to be mad at her. Well, that's your fault because you dating him to make her jealous. You're not dating him to make you happy. See, it's not. Relationships used to be private. And that's one of the reasons why so many black women have derived this notion that our grandmothers and our great grandmothers were abused if their husbands cheated and all this, and these niggas was dogs. And even like the woman who said Martin Luther King was a bad man because he cheated. They have derived that because they don't know the intimate details of these relationships. So on the little bit you do know that sprinkled out, you have made your mind up off of that because you don't know all their business. Because somewhere along the lines, my business became everybody else's business. It's no longer okay to have a household where what happens in my house, as long as it's not creating a trauma, stays in my house. That does not exist anymore. Everybody's relationship is everybody else's business. And when you live your life like that, you live your life in competition with the next person. So these women aren't dating these ballers and these drug dealers and all of this because they like the lifestyle or they feel like they're good men. They're doing it because that's the only way they're going to be able to have a conversation with their friends. What else you gonna talk about? What else? You know, a
Yeah, one
regular
more
man,
thing.
what's he gonna do?